Welcome, everybody, to the September 18th Board of Selectmen's meeting. In case you don't recognize me, sitting in this chair, I'm Mark Elfman. I'm covering for Chris, who's out of town. As you can tell, both past chairmen are on either side of me. In case I make a mistake, they'll kick me under the table. Read the agenda first, or Pledge of Allegiance? Oh, read the agenda. 7 o'clock, we'll have citizens input. 7:05, we have Big Night Ventures, Foxborough, doing business as Scorpion Bar and Mexican Cantina, change of manager. 7:20, we'll continue the public hearing on Nervy Inc., change of manager, pledge and transfer of all alcohol license. 7:35, Selectmen's update. 7:40, Town Manager update. 7:45, Assistant Town Manager update. And then we have half a dozen action items. So, Mr. Johns, why don't you lead us in Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good. All right, anybody here for citizens input? Anybody? Anybody? No. Can we, I guess, is everybody here for Scorpion? Yes. Yeah, we may as well get started on that then. Big Night Ventures, Foxborough, DBA Scorpion Bar and Mexican Cantina, change of manager.
Good evening, Kristen Scanlon for the licensee. With me this evening is David Murray, the proposed manager of record for the change from Randy Rubenstein to David at the licensed premises at 253 Patriot Place. By way of background, David has had extensive experience in the restaurant industry. He's originally from Ireland, but has been in the restaurant industry in Massachusetts since 1996. In addition to his experience at Scorpion Bar and Patriot Place, where he's been the general manager since October of 2016, he also was an owner and manager of record from 2005 to 2016 at a licensed premises in Boston. So he's intimately familiar with the ABCC rules and regulations as far as alcohol service and sale goes in the state and in this town as well. He is on the premises for approximately 50 to 60 hours a week, which will remain so in his position as manager of record of this licensed premises. He can certainly elaborate if the board is so inclined on any of his details of his restaurant experience, and can take any questions regarding that.
Any questions? I have some question. We want to hear your accent.
I have a little bit of an Irish accent. I'm not singing any songs. All right, it's too early in the day for that.
No, that's not too late enough to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you were always the manager, but now you're just taking over the manager of record for the license.
That's correct. Yeah.
So you've been intimately involved with everything.
Yes. Yes. Ins and outs.
I don't have any other questions.
All right. Move to approve Big Night Ventures Foxborough, doing business as Scorpion Bar and Mexican Cantina, change of manager to David Murray.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? None? Great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your
Have a
time.
good night.
Bye-bye now.
Have a good night.
Killing it.
Moving right along. We'll do a few action items.
Yeah. Skip down there. All right. So the first one, move to accept the gift donation of $10,000 to the Boyden Library from John N. Spinney for the September Spinney Speaker Series event programming and costs.
Second.
All those in favor?
With
Opposed?
gratitude.
Good.
All right. Next one, move to appoint Mark Craig to the GATRA Advisory Committee.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Okay.
All right, move to approve Rodman Ride for Kids nonprofit cycling event on September 22nd, 2018, from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
For the record, I need to abstain because I'm riding it and raising money for it.
Okay. So 3-1-0. 301.
301.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's like a batting average, get along.
Move to approve the reappointment of Barrett Orvett and Kevin Weinfeld to the Economic Development Committee for a one-year term expiring October 4th, 2019.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
I move to approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from August 21st, 2018.
Second.
Under discussion, I just had one, just quick item to add the time that we adjourned. I just didn't see that on there. That was all I had.
Move to approve as amended.
Okay. Move to approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from August 21st, 2018, as amended with the end time.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those approved?
And I wasn't at this meeting, so I'll abstain.
3-0-1 again. Got it right.
Keep him on his toes.
I think the fastest meeting is, it's clearly in jeopardy at this point.
Well, I talked to Chris about that, and he said last Thursday's was, and I said that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
So we'll go to Selectmen's update. Anything from us going on? We got a couple of big things going on Saturday, 150th anniversary of Memorial Hall, and there's going to be a little ceremony at 1 o'clock for that, but it's open all day, I believe, and people can come and visit. And does the Orpheum also have a couple of movies, or at least Glory, one movie?
Playing at the same time.
At the same time?
And the doors will be open for bathrooms and what have you.
Great. And then at 4 o'clock is the POW MIA ceremony, also on the Common?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right up at the bandstand.
Yeah, which been to the last couple of years, which is a wonderful event also. So come and hang out at the Common all day. And if you got nothing to do, I'm having a yard sale just around the corner. No, I'm just kidding. But that's it for Selectmen's update.
One other thing, it popped into my mind when you said Orpheum, and the Orpheum's buzzing. This thing's basically every weekend. But there's one thing coming up next Thursday night, and I'm not prepared. I don't have all the details. But Kevin Corliss was one of the victims of the Sheehan era, and he's putting together not a play, not a skit, it's a story. And so it's next Thursday night, if anyone's around. Trying to get as many people there just to hear it, because I think education and the more it's discussed of what happened, the better. And this guy, Kevin, was the first victim that came forward, and he's put his heart and soul into this thing next Thursday. So it'd be nice if the town, the school, the rec department, entities that Sheehan was involved with would come out and support next Thursday night.
What time? Do you remember?
You know, you go to orpheum.org, it's on
Okay.
there. I want to say 7 o'clock, so it's a Thursday night, not a weekend. So if it's not 7, it's close to 7. That's it.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bill, go to town manager.
Just a few things. The special town meeting is going forward on October 1st. There's some on the committee that we need to make sure a quorum. That's a 7:30 start. And so we want to make sure everybody's there. The meeting is we reviewed the warrant with the town moderator and town clerk, and just went through the quantum of vote, things of that nature, the final last pieces of the meeting. That's all been established, so we're ready for that. We are working on some follow-up meetings with the Ponset Reservoir. We have a follow-up meeting with DEP next week. And so we're gathering as much information as we can so that we can get back, and so that everybody will have more, and then we'll report back to what our findings are. We've reached out to Schneider Electric as well, spoken to them. So we're gathering all the pieces of information so we can come back and give a comprehensive report to everyone. The other thing that we're working on right now is we're working on a new committee that was formed called a common holiday decoration committee that's going to meet again tomorrow, and we're trying to really come up with a really nice plan for taking the decorations of the holidays to a next level during the holidays. So we're pretty excited about that group, and a lot of different good ideas we're putting around the table. So we're going to continue to meet and see if we can come up with a program that might work, and we'll bring it back to the board so you can then sit and then weigh in on it and see what your thoughts are on that. Okay? And we're moving into the various phases. We'll continue to move on the phases of the SEMREC development process, and I've got another follow-up meeting, and not a full board meeting tomorrow, just but a few items that we're going to work on tomorrow, more particularly geared towards Foxborough in general, but we'll continue to move forward on that front, and I'll get more of an update from Rob tomorrow on that situation. I'll be able to report back at the next meeting as to how things are progressing. I think things to be moving on schedule at this point. Right. And just one last note, I did want to thank our firefighters. We did send an engine up to that response situation up in the Merrimack Valley over the last week, and we're waiting for some more information. I know there's been some inquiries about concerns here because this is a Columbia Gas community. From what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding is that the situation up there was significantly different in terms of how the system was laid out as opposed to the way it is here. And in fact, this was a unique situation, but one, of course, that was very tragic and unfortunate. So we will, I do want to thank our team firefighters who responded to that situation and out of assistance to the 3 communities of Andover, North Andover, and Lawrence. That's it.
Mike?
Sure. A number of things going on. This Thursday is the employee health fair. They'll be down at the middle school. All the employees have received something by email. This is something we do annually. It does a couple of things. It lays out their health insurance benefits, as well as tips and information on how they can live a healthier lifestyle at work and at home. And also by putting on this fair and by having people participate in it, we get points, Maya Rewards points, that helps on our insurance rates. So that's this Thursday, the 20th. We have a couple of recruitments going on. We're towards the end of the recruitment for the inspections department administration position, and we're just in the first couple of weeks of the veteran service officer position, which we're getting great response on. And we're still working and moving forward on a number of contracts to include library, police, and dispatch, and fire. So that's all I have.
Great. We're a little early, but is everybody here?
They're still talking outside. They're here. I can tell them that you...
If they want, or...
Public meeting. No.
Do you want to talk?
Yeah, we're a little early, but if they want to jump up, it's up to them, or we could wait the extra 8 minutes.
Okay.
Well, during the interim phase, Mr. Chairman, I can report to you that both Mike and I had the pleasure of attending, along with Nick Riccio and Paige Duncan, a leadership training program that we've become part of, is working through the Public Sector Consortium. It was held in Cambridge on Friday and Saturday of this past weekend, and it was something that all 4 of us have really enjoyed participating in. There's 4 separate weekends that will be involved in that process right up until January of next year. And then we'll come back and work on a community project that will then convey what we've learned here back into our operations.
Oh, great.
And we're working with communities from across the Commonwealth, as well as some communities from Rhode Island as well. It's a really, really great training program, so we're very, very pleased to be able to participate in that.
Great, thank you. Hello there. How you doing?
Hello.
Good. Oh, hey, Frank. Evening. So thanks for, we're running early, so figured if you guys didn't mind coming up, you're on.
This is a public hearing for it. Do you want to wait until the appropriate time to start, or are you comfortable starting early? Jim, are you all right with it?
Are all the parties
He's the
here?
acting chair, so.
Okay, all right, we'll go
We're
forward.
comfortable.
Okay. Thank you. My name's Attorney Frank Spillane, here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I'm here for the application with Oliver and Mint Ambrosia Wedding Events. That's a doing business as, but the corporate name is Nervy Inc. It's an application for the transfer of on-premise restaurant all alcohol beverage license, as well as a change of manager, of course, pledge of the license and the inventory, as well as common victulars and 7-day entertainment license. The location, as I'm sure you know, is at 2 Washington Street. It's both a restaurant and a function hall. There's approximately 58,000 square foot facility with 7 rooms. There's a small patio, 2 main entrances, one for the restaurant, one for the function hall, but there's also 9 exits. There's a seating capacity throughout the facility of over 2,400 seats and an occupancy of over 2,700. They do have a lease agreement with the property owner, which is Margie LLC. It's a 5-year lease. You should have copies of that in there. I have the manager and the owner here with me. I'd just like to let them introduce themselves real quick.
Yep. Nandish Patel, owner of Nirvi Inc.
Myself, Mukesh Patel.
Okay. I'd like to thank the board also for continuing the hearing for the last couple of meetings. The applicant actually fell behind a little bit on their payments for the purchase of the real estate and facility with the former owner who was here and current license holder. Negotiations went a little longer than they anticipated, but today everything worked out with regard to amending the lease and all that. And I actually have a license pledge agreement and a revised one that I'm going to file with the board if I could. So I can put one with the application with the ABCC.
Thanks.
Again, this is part of the provisions that have been ongoing in agreement with that. I think we filed with the board a complete packet of everything's required under the ABC filings. And if we could, I'd just like to have the manager just speak briefly about his experience in the restaurant area, and then just open up for questions if that's all right.
That'd be great.
Could you briefly go over your experience?
Sure. Myself, Mukesh Patel, and I used to be active manager over there in Ambrosia in North Attleboro. And right now I'm with the Sunny over here at the Olive and Mint, but not as a manager. Now we are trying to transfer the license over here, and after that I'll be appointed as a manager over there. And I have got a bit more than 3.5 years experience at the Ambrosia back in North Attleboro as a manager.
And how about experience or, readiness for the ABCC rules and regulations?
Yes,
That'll be
I do.
new. That'll be new to you, right?
Yes, because before I used to own the liquor store.
Okay.
So it's been 35 years in this country for me, and more than 20 years with the liquor license businesses I was doing.
Okay.
And finally, I end up with these opportunities. So I've been working for those things.
Do you want to talk about Fox Cares?
Fox Cares. You were Fox Cares? Fox Cares is a group of license holders.
No.
Yeah, actually, I'm aware. One of my friends, his name is Vivek. He was at the Renaissance and he told me about it. He told me as soon as you guys get it, join up with them.
Sorry
So
about that.
yeah, Vivek told us.
I heard about that too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was some place you're talking about. That's the reason.
No, it's not a place.
Yeah, to be a member of this association. Sure,
way
I
of
know
life.
that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Love to be a member of that too.
Yeah, we'll have them reach out to you guys.
Perfect.
All right, and let you know when their next meeting is. And,
Okay.
It's a great organization.
Yep.
Dedicated to responsible.
Yeah, he's told me a lot about it. So
Yeah, Vic was
yeah,
one of the key members of the
Right.
group.
yeah.
So, okay, great.
Jim, anything?
Mr. Attorney Spillane puts together a very complete application, so I
Yes, he
appreciate
does.
the work that went into this.
He's probably done it once or twice.
A couple times.
Yeah, unless there's any other questions, I have none either. I agree. Frank, you did a great job.
All right. Move to approve the change of manager.
Public hearings.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I got kicked under the table. What do I do now?
So move to close the public.
Oh, move to close the
Public, is there anybody in the audience that has any?
Anyone in the audience that has anything to say while it's a public hearing? Hearing none, move to close the public hearing.
All right. Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
One more
Okay.
thing.
Go
But
ahead.
yes, go ahead, Frank.
before we end this thing, the former owner, Nick, would like to just speak to the board very briefly, if they could.
Sure.
Okay, just wanted to,
I understand.
I want to do the vote.
We haven't voted on it, right?
Right.
yet, Okay. Hear it before we vote.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Come on up here.
Anyway, my name is Nick Panagopoulos. I am here for this town for 52 years. I have the restaurant for 51 years. And I thank you very much, all the selectmen, for all these years, because different every 3 years. Everyone good to me. Anything I ask, never I have question no. And I changed 5 chief police for the time I am here, 5 fire chief to here, and everybody good to me, never I have any problems. And still I go and stay in the Foxborough because I have too many properties around. Now I give up the restaurant because start old. It's just what I thank you, everybody. I feel very good for all the towns, but never have any small problems. I am so happy to live in this town for 27 years after I moved to South Walpole because I don't have choice, because next to my plaza, Hercules Plaza, I buy house there because I don't want nobody bother the plaza. That's what I moved for Foxborough to go in the Walpole. Thank you, that's what I'm going to say. Thank you very much for everybody. I hope I stay how long I can. Thank you.
If I, through the chair, Nick, before you leave, if I could say something, and I know I've seen this board in past boards at the functions that you've had, and you're very generous to the town. I've seen sporting events. I've seen after wake parties. I've seen when people pass away, they have their functions there. Not only of your businesses, we're grateful you've had a great business there, a very long business, but I think every function that I've been, I've seen you in the corner or behind the bar or in the kitchen working, all hours there. So you're certainly not an absentee owner. You're there, and I think we appreciate, if I could say back to you, I think we appreciate the business that you've brought.
I have to stay in the town because I have to pay taxes.
Well, thank you for all you've done for the 50-plus years.
I don't know, you know, anyway, I have 4 property back, the back road,
Yep.
4 big building. I have this small plaza there, and still I am here, I don't know how long. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick.
Are we good to move to approve?
I think so,
Yeah.
yes.
Move to approve the change of manager, pledge, and transfer of common particular 7-day entertainment license and annual all alcohol licenses to Nervy Inc., doing business as Olive and Mint / Ambrosia Wedding and Events.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
So Mark, now I can say thank you?
Now you can say thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And good luck.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks a lot to give this opportunity.
That was nice of Nick to say.
Yeah,
That was great.
I'd say that guy's weathered a few storms. He hasn't had the best owners in the past. He ends up footing the bill and working hard.
Another 10 years longer than I am.
51 years, so we have to make
Wasn't it? Sold the restaurant.
And the building. Oh, yeah, because of the rent piece.
And as a former selectman in Walpole and a resident, you know, Nick's not really sad that he lives in Walpole.
Hey, so long as he pays real
In
estate,
both towns.
Yeah.
so long as he pays real estate
Thank you.
taxes in both.
I see you.
All right, take care. All right.
Having finished our agenda,
Move to adjourn?
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bye, Chris.
We're not having Chris back. This was like the
Yeah.
best meeting we've ever had.